Gone. Well met, lords and ladies, and welcome to the Throne Room. This is episode 14 of the video game podcast that may forever change your fealty. I'm your host with the catchy jingle. That's right, you heard it. I'm David Klingle. All right, cool. All right, that was good. All right, I'm joined by some other noble game-playing dudes. It's Anre Borges Brown.
Hello, everyone.
And Ken Doman.
Yo.
All right, well, what's new in your life this week, guys? What's happening, and what are you playing?
I'll start. I platinumed Ratchet and Clank. I don't have to spend too much time on it. Feel exactly how I felt before. It's great. I'm wondering if I feel... I think it's a better game than Ratchet and Clank 2016, which I thought was a good game. I do like the guns in Ratchet and Clank 2016 better than the ones in Rift Apart, and that's a big part of Ratchet and Clank. The guns. Yep. It's not like these guns are bad, but if we're doing a direct comparison, which everyone's doing, I like the guns better in 2016, which is interesting because you have the dual sense features and everything they push with Rift Apart, but platinumed it ridiculously easy. Platinum, like if you're going to beat the game, spend the extra 45 minutes to 2 hours to platinum the game. Yeah, I mean, really, it's not hard. If you did any collecting whatsoever throughout the game. So moving on, I've been playing. I play a little Red Solstice 2 with my boy DK.
Yeah.
And my other boy JP. And that was fun. Been playing some Divinity Original Sin 2 again with my boy DK, the host with the most. Can't wait. It's interesting because David reminded me about this game when I got a new laptop because I was looking, I don't know, maybe like a year ago. I was looking for like co-op games that you could play together, and it's crazy how there are very few like really good co-op games, especially long games like RPGs. You could list them on one hand. But me and David, we played Ark a lot. We play a lot of games co-op, and we really liked that. I mean, we play competitive games too, fighting games and stuff. But and then we'll play multiplayer games. We'll be on the same team, like with Call of Duty and all that. But there's something about you and another player like going through an RPG together that is super fun. Like what if you could play Final Fantasy X with your friend or something like that? You know what I mean? Like, and that's what this game is. It really is impressive how there's no restrictions, no limitations when it comes to playing with your friend, and you really are equals. You go divergent paths, do other stuff, be on separate sides of the map and talk and do stuff and all. It's great. And really finally, to end the little soliloquy I have over here, I took the needle that I got out of my arm like a couple years ago when I stopped playing Mountain Blade, and I put it back in okay. Once I got my PC and I was able to play Mountain Blade Bannerlord. Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. I freaking love this game. All right? And this is probably the first of a multi-tiered, weekly update. Yeah. So I'm sure. I won't go too long, but I'll just say Mountain Blade Bannerlord is like a game where you kind of raise an army. You can do whatever you want. It's a medieval fighting game, or a medieval like sim game, and you raise an army, you go do stuff for lords and become a lord yourself and defend castles and all that. It's really awesome, and I really don't have the time to explain even the premise of the game, really. But you create your own little clan or
nice.
whatever, and you go out and you do whatever it is you want to do. You can sell goods, you can be a raider, you can be a looter, you can serve in fealty to a lord in order to try to become a lord yourself. You can marry into a family. You can pick any faction on the map, align yourself with them, eventually with the goal of trying to create your own faction. Everybody's always at war. So you have to see, like, you know, are you neutral to everybody? Or if you're aligned with a faction, you have to know who that faction's at war up against. So you don't want to kill, get wrecked. It's a pretty difficult game. You know, you're just going around the map. You're trying to see who you can take on and who you don't want to take on. You know, who has like 500 people in the group. So anyway, been playing that a lot. Been trying to go to sleep at 12-1 and ended up 3-4. So that's how that game is. So
heard.
Wow.
That's it for me.
Awesome.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. Look forward to seeing that. You'll have to show me a little bit later. Take a look at it. What about you, Ken? What's going on?
Yeah, man. I've been playing a few things. It's Iron Banner week, so I got to dog into Destiny, play my Iron Banner.
Of course.
Also, played some Concrete Genie on PlayStation 5.
Nice.
That's a very cool game. I've had it installed for a little while. I was like, I need to check this out. And it's a neat little game. I'm not too far into it, just getting through like the intro, the first couple parts where you have this like paintbrush mechanic where you can kind of color these things, and you have this imaginary genie. I don't know if it's imaginary yet or not, but it seems like it, and you kind of have these powers that you can tap into from these different genies as you go through the game. So it's a cool game. I think it was on PlayStation Plus a while ago.
It was. I picked it up on PlayStation Plus for free. I never tried it. And when I get my PS5, I would like to check it out. It does look like a really aesthetically pleasing game, and I'm very interested in the concept. Is it like when you like paint stuff? Do things come to life? Like if you is that how it works?
Exactly. Yeah, like when these genies, like you have these pages in your notebook, and these bullies kind of throw them into the wind, and you're kind of picking up the pages of your notebook. Man. I know, man. so far that's all I've seen. And once you get those pages, you have your paintbrush, and you can paint them, and then the genies will come to life.
Cool.
And, it's a cool game. Also played some Portal 2.
Yep, we did. We're having fun with that.
Yeah.
We did the observatory last week on Portal 2 for anyone who hasn't checked that out yet. And man, we had a good time, and we got to a puzzle where we got stumped, and we had to call it a night because we would probably been there a little longer than we wanted to record. So really having fun with it though, and we're looking forward to getting back in there and solving these. Some of these are pretty tough little puzzles, man.
Yeah.
So having some good fun with that. Yeah. Oh, for me, I'm also, like I said, we've been playing some Red Solstice, Portal 2, and Divinity. Really enjoying Divinity. It's really interesting. It's almost like an RTS. It's a tactics style game when you get into the battles. And, if you're playing with two people, you can have up to 4 people in a party. And so basically I control my character and then another one. And then Anre controls his character and then another one. And, you just kind of got to be real. It's a really difficult game. You have to be really smart about the tactics you use in the environment to try to deal damage and prevent damage from happening to you. There is a permadeath system. So if your character dies and you don't have a resurrection scroll, I mean, they're permanently gone, so it's tough and still a lot of fun. So we've just getting started there. We looking forward to really understanding a lot more. There's a lot we're still trying to figure out, but having a blast with it so far along the way. And then also for the Steam Summer Sale, I did pick up another game. It's called The Long Dark. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's a survival game based in the Canadian wilderness. There's a geothermal event, and the world basically is freezing over, and you're one of the only people left alive. And you've got it's not like zombies or anything. It's a survival game, kind of hardcore. It's pretty difficult. You basically have to manage your health in a lot of ways. You get a lot of illnesses and you can sprain your ankle if you carrying too much weight, and then that can lead to a break, things like that. You can get infections, so you got to find antibiotics and bandages and really take care of yourself. And you're facing off against basically the cold, maintaining your temperature, your hunger, your thirst, and also the wildlife, the indigenous wildlife that's looking for food. Wolves, moose, bears, things like that. a pretty cool game. I'm enjoying it so far. A lot of people have claimed it is one of the, if not the best survival game they've ever played. So wow. It's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. So we'll have to take a look at that.
And you know what I've learned about you, DK.
What's that?
Is that you like a little survival game?
I do.
You know,
do like some survival games.
We're starting to pile them up here.
Yeah.
You know, you got Ark.
Yeah.
You got Subnautica.
Mm-hmm.
You got what's that Viking one that just came out?
Valheim. Yeah.
Valheim.
That was pretty good.
And now we have this game. We're starting to.
Yeah.
We're starting to get another arrow in the quiver of genres that you like.
This is very true.
What was what was the name of that game again?
Yeah, The Long Dark. And it is very, very dark. So you have to also manage your inventory of light, inducing items. You know, it's pretty tough. I played. I think I've given it a couple attempts now. I haven't done the campaign. I've just done the. Basically, it's the survival mode, and you get thrown in there, and you just try to last as long as you possibly can. And you can see there's no base building, but you can find a little house and kind of bunker down in there and store supplies that you find. So you can kind of make a little base. But in the area surrounding you, you're going to eventually run out of resources, and you're going to have to move. So it's basically, from what I understand, you gather resources, kind of make a little base, and then you want to kind of survey the area, get yourself a map going, and keep exploring a little bit at a time until you really finally need to make a push in one direction and hope you don't go the wrong way. Hope you don't go towards a bad one. So, I've played a few times now, and I've died each time. I think I've done 3 attempts so far, and each one I've lasted a little bit longer. But not by much. It's been about a day, a little over a day I've lasted. So I pretty much get enough to get to some place to sleep for the night. And then I try getting out there for a little bit. And then now, all of a sudden, it's really dark and the snowstorm just happened. And I can't keep a fire going because the wind is blowing it out. So now I'm freezing to death. And now I got to find a little cavern or a cave or something where I can create fire. And it's not getting blown out just so I can get some of my heat back. It's pretty nuts, man. It's pretty good. That's wild. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. So we'll have to, maybe we'll do an observatory sometime soon. Take a look at it. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. All right, well, moving on. Yeah. I hope everyone had a happy 4th of July yesterday. Independence Day, wow.
Yes, ID4.
So,
God bless America.
Right.
Because of that, today's episode is Freedom Isn't Free, but these games are. So we're going to take a look at some of the best free-to-play games that you can get your hands on, and maybe some ones that aren't as good, but hey, maybe they're an honorable mention for some point or another. Who would like to start? Anyone want to talk about their favorite free-to-play game?
I'll get mine out of the way because I know you guys know what it is.
No, we don't know. There's no way we would know.
A lot of people don't think of it as a free-to-play game because it didn't used to be.
True.
But yeah, Destiny 2 is free-to-play. You can go in, you can do a lot of the campaign stuff, like the early stuff, and you can do all the PvP is free, and like strikes, which is just kind of like these kind of short 10, 15-minute missions. And I think you can even do Gambit, which is like their PvP, PvE hybrid.
Okay.
You can do a lot. You can do a ton of stuff. Absolutely free. Just download it, get in there, play it.
So what's not free?
What's not free? Like the new subclass. You can't get the the stasis subclass is not free, and the raid is not free. So the raid and the later level campaign stuff. So the newest campaign is not free, and like there's some seasonal stuff too. Like every week they kind of they push the story forward, and you gotta pay for that.
Okay, so
there's limitations.
Yeah,
but you can't really speak to how limiting they are because you pay for yours, and you're a preferred member.
How much do you pay for that content?
Well, exactly. I paid like $60, which is like the cost of a full price game.
Okay.
And that was for the latest DLC and the season pass.
Okay.
So full year worth of content for the price of a game.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's good. I like that because you bought the game initially when it came out, right? $60.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And now you bought the DLC pack. But this game is kind of like a console MMO.
totally.
In that, yeah. So I like the pricing model of just like, hey, instead of spending $10 or some cases $15 a month on an MMO, spend $60. We have I'm sure they gave you a roadmap. Every game has a roadmap, and we already know about Bungie from, not just Halo, but more importantly, Destiny 1, that they give content, it's good, and so you trust them. You say, hey, I will give you this $60. I believe this stuff will happen, and then it'll be good. And so really, you're kind of, because you're playing it like an MMO, you're kind of getting more value
totally.
than a lot of games. True. So I like that pricing model instead of a subscription.
Yeah,
just like play every.
I don't do subscriptions, man. That's why I stayed out of WoW, and a lot of people compare it to WoW. There's a constant comparison to World of Warcraft. But,
well, the crack level.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The addiction level.
Right.
Well, I'll go ahead and go next then, because mine's kind of a similar situation. The one that I wanted to bring up is probably the game I played the most of, and I paid for it at the beginning, but Final Fantasy XIV. Excellent game. It is currently, you can play the entire base game for free, and I think even the DLC that came after that. And then if you want to pay for the last DLC that came out, you can pay for the last DLC. So you get a whole crap load of content to play on this game for free. And that is more than two games, two typical games in itself, free content. And then if you liked it that much, then buy this. Here's the new stuff. You can play that too. So I played a lot of Final Fantasy XIV, really enjoyed my experience with it. Don't really have the time for an MMO these days, and that's just having a kid, being a parent. But if you do like this kind of thing, it's an excellent game and totally worth playing, especially for free. That's crazy. Yeah. What do you guys think of Final Fantasy XIV?
I didn't even know that was free to play. This is news to me. Now I'm like, I need to look into this. Like, I'm like, okay.
I like it. It's a PSA, because there are probably some people that are like, what? Destiny 2's free now?
Right. They can.
And you wouldn't think that.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Well, and it gives you a taste. If you can decide if you like it, if you want to pony up the money.
Yeah, it's a common drug dealer move. I saw you play Final Fantasy 14 back in the day, man. I forgot who you were fighting, man. It might have been Bahamut or
Primal. It's probably like Ifrit or something, maybe. Titan.
You and 20 of your closest friends. It was it was crazy. There's a lot of people, a lot of colors.
Those Primal fights are fun.
The colors. Man. So I tried to play Final Fantasy 14 when it was free. I think it wasn't you. Somebody else tried to get me into it, and like I played it. And I was like, it's not for me.
Yeah.
MMOs rarely are.
Yeah.
With one notable exception.
What is it?
So.
What's the notable exception?
My entry is going to be
Star
the
Wars.
Notable exception. Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Right. Knew that was coming.
For those who have played The Old Republic 1 and 2, and even if you didn't, if you just like read the Bane trilogy, or you just like that Old Republic era, it is amazing. BioWare, they considered it basically like the Old Republic 3 through 9, they said. And that's basically kind of how it is. It is free to play now. It was not. Obviously, you get more abilities if you are a preferred member. Like the ability to run and stuff. Like it really, when the game was paid and then it goes to free, a lot of times what the publishers do is they take a big pipe and they smack the shins of all the the broke guys, the broke people. And they say, okay, you can play our game now, but you're crippled.
Yeah.
And everyone will know that you
don't pay for this game. You're a degenerate. You're a degenerate.
You're a commoner.
You're piggybacking on the money of others. Yeah.
So, So the whole thing is, if you like that game, eventually you'll like it, and you play it enough, you'll want to spend the money, and it's probably cheaper now. But I'm telling you, if you like Star Wars, if you like good writing, if you like a crazy amount of voice acting and a crazy good story, and especially if you have a friend that can do this with you too, it is still one of the best MMOs out there. They came out. A lot of people, maybe them included, they kind of want to be a WoW killer, and you're not going to kill WoW. All right, there's too many people addicted to it. It's too ubiquitous in that lane. But when you have an established IP like Star Wars, and you have, so it's a perfect blend of established IP but fresh story area and timeline. And that's what the Old Republic is. It's a fresh story. It's like that new Harry Potter game that's coming out later. It's like, okay, this is an established IP. People love it. But we're in a setting with an opportunity for fresh takes and stories. So that's what a lot of potheads like David are so excited about that new Harry Potter game. Well, I'm a Star Wars fan. It's weird that we haven't come up with a name for ourselves in like 30 years. Longer than that, 40. Anyway, and yeah, it's just it's a great game. It really is. I mean, the light side, dark side, Jedi, Sith, bounty hunter, rogue, rebel agent, inquisitor agent, all this. They're trooper. And all of them are very good. It's not just like the Jedi and the Sith. They're all very good stories, and you could, if you just want to play that game as a single player game, you could do it. You could play that game as a single player and play through basically 8 different stories. You could do that, and I really like the Sith story and the bounty hunter story.
And you can do that without the subscription. You don't need to.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's free. Yeah.
Wow.
It might take you a little longer to learn how to run.
Yeah.
You might not get mounts as easily as
yeah. So yeah, we I played a little bit with Anre at free, like maybe a year or two ago, and I think it took me like 10 more levels to get my speeder bike or something like that than a paid nothing crazy, but yeah, it's pretty good though, pretty fun what we did play.
Yeah. We're only doing one, right? But I just want to quick shout out to Genshin Impact. Okay. It's free to play right now. It's on consoles. It's kind of it's like anime Breath of the Wild type game, and it's a gacha game. So like that means like you can pay for a lot of stuff. There is a gambling element, but everyone that plays it, and even a lot of the reviewers, they say, hey, I played this game for 40, 50, 60, whatever hours, didn't put a single penny into it. The story, it is a good like RPG story, like AAA. It's a AAA gacha game. It's crazy. It's wild. It's one of the most successful games of 2020.
Yeah, what I heard was you don't need to spend any money at all, but if you really want to max your character to do like the most damage, some of the upgrades that you get or whatever are really randomized, and it's a really low percentage of you getting the exact thing that you want. And so that's what a lot of people are paying for, is the chance to get that. And you can do it without paying money, but that might take you 200-300 hours.
Yeah. The important word you said is want. If there's a certain thing you want, a certain character you want, a certain item or weapon you want, you might want to spend some bread. But you don't need those things to beat high level, to do high level play. You don't need those things.
And what I look at in games like this, is it bad to spend some money? Okay, the game itself is free. You got the entire experience for free. If you loved it, you could support them a little bit and maybe spend $10-15 to get what you want, and you're good. I did that for Rocket League. I got Rocket League was free, and I fell in love with it, so I bought a couple of packs to support them because I love Rocket League,
And that's what the developers are counting on. I mean, they deliver this great game for free. I played for a lot of hours, didn't put a single dime into it. And I still had the wish system where you try to get, I still got some currency from in-game. excuse me, and everything, but they are the developers of free-to-play games are generally counting on, like Brawlhalla, another game we played. Me, David, and friend of the show, Holman. I'll take to some names in that game too. Anyway, not important. It's what they count on. It's like we'll deliver a good product, and the people who like it will enjoy it. They'll get more people in, and the people who really, really like it will spend extra money. And it's easier to spend money on a game that you paid nothing for
that you really
than it is to spend money that you pay on a game you pay.
I know a lot of games I've spent $60 on that I was very unhappy with. So I mean, if you like the game, give them a few bucks. Stop complaining about it. Yeah,
it's almost like a demo.
I would be really interested.
It's a full demo or something.
Full game,
like does that business model? It seems like they make more money on free to play games.
Yeah, they can.
Well.
Like a game like Fortnite,
think a lot of
and I'm not a big into Fortnite or anything, but that game makes a ton of money and it's a free game.
Yeah,
I think for every Fortnite there's probably like 20 or 30, 40 or 50 games that they either fail or they don't do it like that. I think the stories we're talking about are the successful stories that are super popular. And one of the ways, you're right, Ken, one of the ways that it becomes super popular is it's free. Whether that be because it came with PS Plus, like Fall Guys and Rocket League, or because it's just free, like Fortnite. When you hear about all these great games, and then your friends are talking to them, they're like, I don't know, it's like it's free. And you're like, oh. And in the case of Fortnite, Rocket League, Brawlhalla, a lot of these games, it's like, it'll take you 10 minutes to download.
Yeah,
right.
It'll take up no space in your hard drive. You could just start downloading it, and we'll be finished by this conversation. You know what I mean? It's just so it does help it grow like wildfire. It really does.
Awesome. Well, freedom isn't free, and neither is running. Ken, you have anything else you want to mention?
I did. I have another free-to-play game that it's, of course, made by Nintendo, so it's got some kind of weird-ass thing around it, right? So, Super Mario 35. This was a Battle Royale Super Mario game. They came out last year.
What?
And you played through Super Mario Brothers, and when you hit the Goombas, it threw enemies on your other person's screen. So they had all these enemies coming at them. And you play through, it's like speed running through Super Mario Brothers. And it's competitive, and you see everybody's screen around you. You see these little boxes that show their screen and where they're at, and you try to be the last person alive. So it's Battle Royale, right?
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was a really cool game. And then Nintendo said in March this year, they said, nope, you can't have it anymore. We pulled it. You can't play it. It's gone. Disappeared.
Dang, that sucks.
They just snatched it back. And I guess it wasn't completely free. You had to have the Nintendo Online subscription, but if you had that, it was free, and it was a blast. It was a lot of fun.
Interesting. Never heard of it.
Free to play and
hilarious. Yeah, and Nintendo makes you pay for that online.
Yeah, but they release stuff like that. Yeah,
but I actually didn't know you were talking about it first. I was like, what? Did they send out a freaking trailer for this game? Put the commercials out, and I don't believe they did, but I do know what you're talking about. I have seen it, like where it starts off with all these TVs, and then it gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
And you can target people. Yeah, you can target the people that are targeting you, and there's some strategy to it. And it's a heck of a game.
Let me ask you a question, just for clarity's sake. Can you no longer play this game, or can you no longer download it?
You
can no longer play it.
You can't download it. You can't play it. It's gone.
Yeah, well.
I think I still have.
Nintendo saw it was doing well, and they were like, why did we give this out for free? Who was on this? Was that Gary? Giving shit out for free again?
Wow.
They said
Take it down.
That was their plan when it came out. They said this is a temporary game that you can only play during the Mario 35th anniversary, whatever.
Yeah.
So, and that was it.
Hey, they might be planning to make a full title out of it,
It would be cool.
Yeah, I would imagine,
Yeah.
All right, well, some other notable mentions are, I played quite a bit of this game, Warframe. That was a good bit of fun. I know they've done a lot to keep this game alive. They've added a lot of new content. I haven't seen it in a while, but If you like that kind of thing, it's worth it. Check it out. League of Legends. Played some good bit of League of Legends. That's a fun game if you like MOBAs. It's free. Check it out with your friends. Among Us.
Dota 2 for those
Dota 2.
who play League of Legends, but they're a little more serious about it.
Yeah. Among Us. That's a fun one to play with a few of your friends. Try to figure out who done it, right? So, yeah, check that out. It's free.
It's a good time.
StarCraft 2. If you like strategy games, RTSs, StarCraft 2 is free. That's crazy. It's an amazing game. Check it out. And Valorant. Valorant's a good, fun game. It's Counter-Strike with powers. So if you like Counter-Strike, it's very much Counter-Strike, but you also have the ability to use different abilities depending on what your character is to help your team reach victory. And then Apex Legends. That's a fun battle royale to play. They just unleashed a new mode, which is like a smaller version, 3v3. And that's pretty fun. And I've enjoyed playing a bit of those every once in a while. Other than that, check out those free games because you're free. We're lucky to be free. Maybe. I think most of us are free. All right, just as a reminder, if everyone is enjoying the show, you can head over to patreon.com/CrownKingMedia and support us for just $1 a month, which gets you a Patreon-exclusive show dubbed The Roundtable, where we pick a game to discuss in great detail while also providing our insight into what can make it much better or far worse. Also, for audio-only listeners out there, we do have YouTube content where the show is uploaded with our ugly mugs, and we also have another segment called The Observatory. We spoke about that at the beginning of the episode, where we pick a game and we play it for a while. So come check that out. You got to see what's going on in Portal 2. Okay, it's time to talk some industry news. Hideo Kojima's next game could be exclusive to Xbox. According to GameSpot, in a big shakeup from his last game, Death Stranding, it's looking like Hideo Kojima is going to partner with Microsoft for a new Xbox game next. Insider Jeff Grubb reports that Microsoft and Kojima have signed a letter of intent for a new game. This is not an official binding contract, importantly, but it seems to point to the possibility that Kojima's next game will be made for Xbox. Grubb cited the information to his unmanned sources. Quote, "This is key step in the negotiations between Metal Gear Solid creator and the Xbox company. This signifies that both parties have agreed to and generalized to deal with lawyers, continue hashing out the finer points," end quote, Grubb said. According to the report, Microsoft and Kojima have been working behind the scenes for months already regarding a partnership. The deal is so close that Microsoft has begun preparing for what Kojima will need to make this new game, Grubb reported. Wow.
Dang. Money talks, man. you got the money, you can buy the games.
Yeah,
well,
that's crazy.
It's interesting. It's interesting because there's a whole bunch of rumors, a lot of them by Grubb here. There was a rumor that Sony didn't, like, he brought the idea to Sony and they didn't want it. There's rumors that that's the main rumor. There was a rumor that he was working with Microsoft, and this is a stronger rumor. There's been rumors like that before. You know, obviously there's the whole Silent Hills thing, rumor, weirdness with that other game studio that we're not going to get into because we don't have 50 minutes to talk about one weird thing that probably will end up being nothing. But I'll just say, man, like, for PlayStation fans, and Kojima's almost synonymous with PlayStation. Yeah. Kojima Productions is an independent studio.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about this later with Housemarque and other stuff, but like in Insomniac, they were an independent studio until Sony bought them.
Yeah.
And now they're probably their second most important studio. And with the launch of PlayStation 5, they've been their most important studio.
Yeah.
Kojima Productions has a great relationship with Sony. Kojima has a great relationship with Sony, but that doesn't mean he can't go elsewhere.
Yeah.
Insomniac had a great relationship with Sony.
And I don't think Kojima will ever be bought. I don't think Kojima Productions will ever sell. So I think he's going to...
No.
Yeah.
Because I think he likes Sony, and he probably likes all these guys, but he doesn't want... I haven't spoken to him, obviously, but he doesn't. I don't think he wants to be in a position where he was in with Konami.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Where creative control. Yeah.
He really wants creative control. He really wants to be like, hey, I want to do this weird thing. And if Sony says, well, hey, that weird thing is great with us, well, then you get a Death Stranding, and a lot of people like it, a lot of people don't. But Death Stranding,
did that sell?
Yeah, it did great.
Well,
it did great.
Yeah,
I mean, it did good, but not as well as like Metal Gear Solid 6 or something like that.
Right. Well, it's a new IP.
It wasn't as received as well as the Metal Gear series. It, you either loved it or you hated it. It seemed like some people just thought it was way weird, boring. Some people would call it you're just a package deliverer, and yeah, you kind of were, but. That's the beauty of the game. That was the fun of the game. It's kind of like how you compare The Long Dark to Subnautica. A lot of people might think The Long Dark's boring because it's just you facing off against the elements, right? And Death Stranding was really that. It was about equipment management. It's about getting to where you need to go without dying. Worrying about all that stuff. So and being around the story that was built around it. So I thought it was a very beautiful experience, and a lot of people did too. But yeah, because of that, it just wasn't. As widely received as Metal Gear was, but it still did very well. Yeah. And
that's a very good question. I'll have to look at the numbers because I think it sold well. I don't know if it sold like it didn't sell as well as other AAA Sony games.
It got a lot of attention. Though.
It's not a Sony first party game, obviously, but the marketing it got, the attention it got, like you said, it didn't sell like Ghost of Tsushima. Which is another new IP from an established studio, and this is a new IP from an established director. But yeah, what I was saying is like Insomniac, they did Sunset Overdrive for Xbox. You know what I mean? It when you're independent, you're independent. Even if you're a second party studio like Insomniac was or Housemarque, and when I say second party, what I mean is you're not really first party, but you have a very close relationship with Sony. They consider it a second party relationship, and you're not third party like EA or Ubisoft, where you're just kind of selling games for everyone. Basically, they were releasing games only on PlayStation as a second party studio who was not exclusive to PlayStation. And that's what Death Stranding was, but. If you don't put a ring on it, you can go elsewhere. So, I don't think people should be upset about this.
That being said, I don't see Kojima going to Sony and them just not letting him make whatever he wants. I don't see that. I don't see them turning him, and that's the only thing I could even believe it being for him to need to go to Xbox. But I can't even, at this point in their relationship, I don't see Kojima going to Sony and saying, hey, I want to make this, and them going, no, sorry. Can't let you do that, buddy. Just doesn't make sense to me.
It's the weird thing, and that, like I said, that was just a rumor. It might not have happened. He might have just said, "I want to go to Xbox with this one."
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah,
or Xbox may have paid him more for this game.
Yeah, they might have reached out to him. They might have reached out to him or something and said, "Yeah, hey."
He might have sold the game to both, and Sony liked it.
I think it's even a little more. Man, I think it's even possible he's making more than one game at a time right now. And. He's going to have this one team working on this Xbox title. Because I know he's always wanted to do that PT style game with Norman Reedus. He's always wanted to do this horror, truly next gen kind of horror, best horror game that anyone's ever seen kind of deal. Yeah. So I really think that's going to come. And I think I don't know that that's going to go to Xbox. I would see that being more of a PlayStation thing. So if that is the case, I see him working on something like that with PlayStation right now, but then maybe Xbox hit him up and said, hey, we want you to make something for Xbox, and it's probably something entirely different than what you would typically see Kojima on PlayStation. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting, very interesting. We'll see what happens when this deal is actually,
nothing set in stone. Nothing set in stone, yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing more. All right, Sony acquires Returnal developer Housemarque, hence Bluepoint is next. The Verge mentions in a statement, Housemarque's co-founder and managing director, Ilari Kututian, welcomed the acquisition, saying it gives our studio a clear future and stable opportunity to continue delivering on gameplay-centric approaches, while still experimenting with new methods of narrative delivery and pushing the boundaries of this modern art form. News of the Housemarque acquisition arrived alongside a tweeted image that suggests that Sony is about to acquire another studio. It appears that when Sony's PlayStation Japan Twitter account tried to tweet about the Housemarque acquisition, it accidentally used a promoted image announcing an acquisition of Bluepoint Games instead. The high quality of the image suggests it's official, but premature. The original tweet and image have since been pulled, but Twitter user Nibel has verified that Via TweetDeck, the image came from the official PlayStation Japan account. Bluepoint Games is another studio with a long history of collaborations with Sony, as well as the recent Demon's Souls remaster. It's also remastered other PlayStation titles like Shadow of the Colossus, the Uncharted trilogy, and Flower. What do you make of this?
Another perfect segue to what we were talking about. Yeah. Housemarque was a second-party studio, a studio that made games that are synonymous with PlayStation, like
Resogun, right?
Resogun, and most recently Returnal. Returnal was a success. You know, not like 15 million sold or anything. Not a Naughty Dog game, but a very successful game, a very necessary game when you talk about a PlayStation 5 exclusive. It is very necessary for Sony's strategy to have exclusive games that are high quality. And when you have, you know, Insomniac, they did their part. They put out Miles Morales, which is also available on PlayStation 4. But, you know, they're waiting on them with Ratchet & Clank. You're waiting on a lot of your big heavy hitters with games coming out later like God of War and Horizon. And so Housemarque stepped up to the plate once again, just like they did with the PS4 when they made Resogun, which was kind of a technical showcase, even though it's a 2D game. That
was available for free on PS Plus, right?
For free, yeah. And like I said, they stepped up again with a very good game and kind of expanded their scope than they usually do. They're a twin-stick shooter, and this is kind of like a next-gen twin-stick shooter kind of. So it's a move that makes sense. And now they are a first-party studio, so they won't be going elsewhere. Yep. And when you talk about the Bluepoint thing, that a lot of people, including me, have been saying they being Sony, should acquire Bluepoint for at least 2 years, because of Bluepoint does all of their remakes and remasters.
They've been doing great work.
Yep.
And that Shadow of the Colossus remaster was awesome. They did a really good job with that. So, and I didn't even know that they did that. You know, so that's crazy.
Exactly, they're their most trusted remake remaster studio, and those are becoming more and more important to help fill out the calendar year. And I think they'll probably make an original game soon. But you know, with it, they'll have more resources now. They can probably do both. But another important game, Demon's Souls, another game only for the PlayStation 5, not available for the PlayStation 4. So, and I'm saying this, I should mention, I believe that this is true. I mean, this definitely came from the official Japan,
just a matter of time,
Twitter account.
Once I think, so what are they waiting for?
By the time a lot of you read this, or listen to this rather, it'll probably have been announced. I wouldn't be surprised if they're waiting for their little rumored event happening in July.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. Rumored. So, yeah, those are my thoughts.
Ken, you got anything?
No, I mean, that makes perfect sense to me. I've played a lot of Bluepoint games, even though I didn't really play them because they're Bluepoint. It's just, I went back, the Uncharted games, I wanted to replay them. They released that, the trilogy, and it was fantastic. And they did a great job with it. So for Sony, that is a slam dunk. Yeah,
this move just makes sense. It just really does. And you've been hearing a lot of stuff, you guys may have, about them acquiring studios, and they're just buying more studios. And this wasn't something they decided not to. They weren't like, oh, this is something they really knew they were going to do. They were going to buy this studio, and they were going to make it their own. So I don't think anyone that's saying that they're going out there and just buying stuff right now because they're scared of Microsoft, it's a little silly, I believe. But that being said, Sony is not in an arms race with Microsoft, says PlayStation boss. IGN states during an interview with British GQ, Holst was asked if he saw this recent increase in studio acquisitions from Microsoft, Facebook, and Sony as a bit of an arms race. Holst rejected the idea, pointing to Sony's very specific choices when it comes to acquisitions. Quote, we're very selective about the developers that we bring in, Holst said. Our last new acquisition was Insomniac for $229 million in 2019, which has worked out very well. I'm always looking for people that have similar set values, similar creative ambitions, and work very well with our team that we can further invest in and help us grow as creators. It's not like we're going around and we're just making random acquisitions. They're very, very targeted acquisitions of teams that we know very well, he said, referring to the Sony acquisition of Housemarque, which was announced today. Holst said, quote, the amount of collaboration between our external development group and Housemarque on the technical side, the production management side, and even on the creative side has been so deep. So for us, it just makes so much sense to do that. Yep.
Oh, real quick to piggyback on what we were just saying. Recently, Sony bought a studio called Nixxes, Nixxes rather, and their studio that specializes in PC ports. So they could be doing other stuff. I think they will be doing other stuff. I don't think this means like a significant ramp up in games that are ported to PC from Sony. But when you have a Blue Point that specializes in remakes, and now you have a studio like Nixxes, which has been one of the best studios to port games from console to PC that a lot of publishers have used, that you might not have even realized you played a Nixxes game. Just like Ken was saying, you didn't realize you played a Housemarque, or not a Housemarque, Blue Point game.
Yeah.
You're starting to see a strategy by Sony, and this dovetails perfectly. Beautiful segues today. Dovetails perfectly into what Herman Host was saying about these strategic acquisitions. They're not just like, oh well, this studio makes good games, let's buy them so those good games will be on our side. It's a little more thoughtful than that. Not that that's bad. Yeah. Not that Microsoft buying Bethesda is bad. That's great for them, and it's needed for them. Microsoft needed Bethesda more than Sony needed a Bethesda, because they have other studios that, in my opinion, are better. But the good thing about Bethesda is, since they were a publisher, they have so many games, and it bolstered Microsoft's portfolio by a lot. I mean,
well, they have a lot of technology too. They have game engines, they have physics engines, they got a lot of stuff that they can use across their other.
And you know what else? I don't know about you guys, I've always felt of Bethesda as more of a PC, Xbox company anyway.
Yep.
And maybe that's because of my.
That's because it was. Yeah. That's because it's primarily PC and then a little Xbox. Like, Morrowind. I don't even know if that's on. Is it on PS3 now? Like, I think _4 Morrowind.
Yeah, it's on console. Yeah.
But is it on PS3 though?
I don't know.
Because I know it wasn't day and date. I know Skyrim was the first one to come out on like Sony consoles the same day it came out on Xbox consoles, and we all know that's one of the that original Skyrim PS3 game was one of the worst games. Like, it was one of the most broken pieces of crap ever. Yeah. Until they fixed it, and that's two reasons. Like, one, Bethesda didn't have a lot of experience working with the PlayStation 3, and the PlayStation 3 was notoriously difficult to work for. So it was extremely broken until like the freaking collector's edition came, or the Game of the Year edition, which I bought and I loved, and I was like, it still had that Bethesda, jank to it, that Bethesda, glitches and all that. But so did the others. So did the ones on PlayStation and Xbox. But like, shit just wasn't working when it came out on PS3.
On the Wikipedia page, it doesn't look like it ever came out on PS3 for Morrowind, Elder Scrolls 3. It was on PC and Xbox. That was it.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, I think Oblivion. If Oblivion is 4, Morrowind is 3. Oblivion might be the same way. It might not. I can't.
It was on PS. It came out on PS3. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. So. Yeah, the point is, it came to Xbox first, but it's primarily a PC thing. Kind of really. The Witcher 2 is like that. The Witcher 2 is on Xbox. It's not on PS3. And The Witcher is more.
It's probably easier for them to port, I think. Didn't take the time to do it on PlayStation. Well, you know what? While Microsoft has Bethesda, PlayStation, Sony, they've got Sucker Punch, man. And you know what? You know what about that? Ghost of Tsushima director cut an Iki Island expansion announced for PS5 and PS4. Upgrade prices revealed. All right. Ghost of Tsushima director's cut has been announced for both PS4 and PS5. The updated version will include PS5 specific enhancements, plus a new Iki Island expansion. The director's cut will come to both consoles on August 20th. As the name implies, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut will include the original game, every bit of additional content Sucker Punch production released, plus a new island to explore as part of the Iki Island expansion. Iki Island is a new neighboring island to Tsushima, and it will add a new chapter to Jin's adventure. Alongside the new island to explore, there will be a new storyline to follow, though details are being kept a secret. Expect new environments, new armor, new techniques, and more when you visit Iki Island. What do you guys? Are you excited to go to this? Take a little vacation over there on Iki Island? You know?
I freaking love this game. I mean, this is it. Probably is my game of the year for last year.
Okay.
I love this game. I was waiting for more of this game, and yeah, $30. That seems like that's a decent amount of money. But you're getting a full upgrade of the game. You're getting a whole new bunch of content. Yeah. I'm not sweating too much over the.
Hey man, I'm gonna say if they're charging us 30 for it, it's probably more than worth 30.
Yeah.
So.
If I gauge it in like dollar per hour of gameplay, I will get my money's worth out of that. So, yeah.
Yeah. The worst thing for me about the pricing is how freaking confusing it is from time to time with these games that have like Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's like, all right, if you have a PS4, the PS4 version, and you upgrade to the PS5, and you get the expansion, it's this. The upgrade to the PS5 is free. Then you do that, and then it's this price. If you don't have the PS4, then you do this to the PS5, but the remake, it's this price. I'm like, bro, it is so difficult sometimes. Yeah. It's just like, the pricing is fair to me because I believe, first of all, it's a great game. I platinumed the game. Mm-hmm. So I love this game. I'm with Ken, man. Like, it's like an eternal struggle, a quiet tournament, if you will, between The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. I would give it to The Last of Us Part 2, but Ghost of Tsushima is right there, man, when it comes to Game of the Year.
I agree.
And
if there wasn't a Last of Us Part 2 last year, right?
Yeah. I mean, I really think that The Last of Us Part 2 kind of did, to a lot of games, especially Ghost of Tsushima, what Breath of the Wild did to a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
When it came out, it's like, man, you would have been in a normal year. Game of the year. But yeah, I love this game. I can't wait to go to Iki Island.
You
know,
not bad, Iki.
Like Tsushima, it's a real island close to Tsushima, so that makes sense. I will say, I think I'm the only person who played Ghost of Tsushima on the PS5 after the little update port.
Yep.
And it is beautiful. You did? You played on PS5? Oh, yes, it is so beautiful. I mean, I played the entire thing on the PS4. And I loved it. I platinumed it. It was beautiful. And then they did the update. I had already finished everything, so I just went up to see how it was. Mm-hmm. The difference between 30 to 60 is night and day.
Yeah, well,
the graphics are already incredible. Everything just looks smooth and beautiful. So I can't wait. You know, I just didn't have. I loved it, but I didn't have a reason to go back, right? Because I already did everything. I can't wait to go back and finish and continue Jin's story.
I'm kind of glad I didn't platinum it because now I have an excuse. To go and do all that stuff. So,
I am really looking forward to it as well. I must wait. Looking forward to it. Okay, sweet. Moving on. Any tip of the crowns here? Anything you guys want to? I got nothing. Not for this week.
No, not this week.
Okay. All right. New releases for the week. Ender Lilies, Quidditch of the Knights, PS5 and PS4, July 6th. Not sure, but they probably aren't making a sound. Plague Tale, Innocence, PS5, Xbox X, Switch, July 6th. Now, Plague Tale, I heard, is a really great title. Really good story. I haven't checked it out yet, and I know it was free or is coming free to some platform.
Beginning today... As we're recording, A Plague's Tale, the first one is free on PlayStation Plus.
Oh, okay.
So, perfect timing, which happens a lot when you can control the timing as the developer can. If you haven't played this game like I haven't, I've seen it being played, I've seen trailers and everything. Go ahead and scoop it up anyway. I think the other is 2 are Call of Duty Black Ops 4. And WWE Battlegrounds. So those are 2 games you can scoop up, and another you can wonder why they put it on the service at all.
Yeah.
I'll let you figure out which is which.
Watch Dogs Legion, Bloodline DLC, PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One, July 6th. Are you looking forward to this? I know you like Watch Dogs.
Anre? It's funny. I played Watch Dogs. I beat it. I played Watch Dogs 2. I liked it more than Watch Dogs first one. And I played Legion, and Legion didn't grab me as much as the other two, and I never beat it. And yeah, that's kind of, and like Cyberpunk came out right after that, and I was like, this is better, even in its current state.
I like the premise of it. I think it was cool, the whole switching through different characters.
Yeah, and that is the part I like too, but unfortunately, it kind of makes it impersonal.
Right.
And coming from Watch Dogs 2, where set in San Francisco, you have these young like tech kid hacker group, and I kind of like those guys. Like, they're not iconic characters, but like, I like Rich. I like Marcus. It was pretty good. It was better than it had any right to be.
All right, next up is Fallout 76, Steel Rain update, probably more of the same update. PC, PS4, Xbox One, July 7th. Out of Line, Switch, July 7th. I don't even know why they're coming with that out of line.
I just want to say real quick, Fallout 76 is a garbage game that I can't believe they released. I can't believe they're continuing to release things.
Working on it.
It's very noble of them.
It's supposed to be better.
Well, I mean, it could not have gotten worse, Ken.
Yeah.
It could not have gotten worse.
Sam and Max, this time it's virtual, PC VR, July 8th. Black Skylands, PC, July 9th. And Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, PC, Switch, July 9th, more Monster Hunter.
People of mine, sources, say that they like the first Monster Hunter Source game. I believe that was on 3DS or DS or some sort of handheld, and this one is a sequel to that one, but it's on Switch, which is a proper system. So if you like Monster Hunter World and you didn't get a chance to play the first one in this series, then scoop this game up because it's supposed to be really good.
Okay, glad to hear it. I love Monster Hunter World. I played it, still have it, still enjoy it. But Monster Hunter Stories, never heard of it. I don't know what the stories means.
Because it was on handheld.
Okay, got it. It's on PC too, though. So anyway, that's it for the games on Steam this week. It's still the Steam Summer Sale. Still a lot of games. Go check them out. There's a lot of great stuff. And Epic Store, the Spectrum Retreat is free right now. You're on like you're in some kind of like hotel or something, and you're solving a mystery. I don't know. I probably won't play it. I downloaded it, or I put it in my cart and got it for free. But I don't know if I'll ever make it to that one. We'll find out. All right, Switch. What's on the Switch this week, Ken?
Nintendo Switch. They've got some good deals this week. They have the Mario Kart Live, the home circuit set. It comes with the car. It's the AR version of Mario Kart. It's $25 off. So you get for $75, you get the car, you get the set, you can play the game in your living room. We also got the Nintendo Switch Lite. It comes with a free 128 gig memory card. So that's kind of cool. For $200, you can get yourself a Switch with a memory card. So not bad. They've got 4 first-party, really high-quality games on sale. If you don't already have these, now is the time to get them. Mario Odyssey, Fire Emblem, The Three Houses, Zelda, Link's Awakening, and Luigi's Mansion 3. There are $20 off each. If you don't got them, go get them.
So that's $40 for each, right?
Yeah, $40 for each of those. So
for $240, I could get a Nintendo Switch, a 128 gigabyte memory stick,
and 3 houses,
and Fire Emblem 3 houses.
Yeah, you could.
Yep. So
tempting, huh?
Yeah, good deals on the Switch.
Hey, that'd be cool. That would be a really cool one if we could play that one co-op, similar to Divinity 2. That would be a really fun game because you're controlling like eight characters. So if you and I could each have 4, that would be really fun. Get on it, Fire Emblem. We want a co-op version of that. All right.
Actually, you know what? Get on it, everyone. This needs to start a trend.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Not every game. Not every game can't be co-op.
Right.
Every RPG can't be co-op. But Divinity can. Fire Emblem can. A lot of these games can.
Could be. Yeah. Easily.
Could.
All right. It's on PlayStation, Anre.
You already they have their mid-summer sale going on.
Mm-hmm.
Horizon Zero Dawn Complete. edition, 50% off right now. It's $20, the complete edition, and now it's only $10. So again, if you haven't played this game for some reason, it's a game about robot dinosaurs, and you're
fantastic.
Shooting arrows. It's great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Just buy it.
Awesome.
Another game, if you haven't played before, Persona 5 Royal. It is 65% off. So Persona 5 Royal, which is like the best edition of like a director's cut almost of Persona 5, that is $27 for the standard edition of Persona 5 Royal. And Persona 5 Royal itself has an Ultimate Edition with all the DLC that came out after Persona 5 Royal. Not to be confused with Persona 5 Royal, which has all the DLC and new characters and new storylines from the original Persona 5. That is $45. They are both 65% off. If you haven't played Persona 5 Royal or Persona 5, you should probably get one of these games.
Awesome.
And for $45, probably the Ultimate. Rainbow Six Siege Deluxe Edition, another favorite of David's, 75% off.
Nice.
It's $40 normally. So
yeah, I think it's like $7 or something on the Steam store right now.
Yeah, so it's 10 on the PlayStation Network.
Cool.
75% off, pretty good. Mortal Kombat 11, 70% off. And they just recently shut their servers down. Very strange, but still a good game if you want to play offline. 70% off. That's $15.
They turned their servers off?
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
Very recently they shut them down.
Was it an accident?
No, on purpose.
Wow. Did they shut it down to fix some things and they're coming back, or they're permanently gone? Is what I'm asking.
I'll tell you what. This is the last game I have on my list. I'll look this up real quick and I'll give you an answer and
all right,
very
sounds
quickly.
Great. Well, that sums it up for today's episode, everyone. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, rate, and subscribe. Also, tell all of your friends while you're at it. Don't forget, we may be crowned king, but everyone's royalty here. That means you and us, but more importantly, you.